I totally would have done the 4 o'clock, or I'm sorry, 1 o'clock, but I forgot.
We'll just play it by ear. When this is done, we'll just hit them up and
yeah, that's cool.
See where we're at timing wise. And
Can
what's
do.
up, friends? What's up? What's up? We're live. We're live. It's
Live.
Hey, Rachel. Yes, of course. Sorry, we thought everyone knew that already. It's the Lemonade by Debt chat. Is alive.
I'm going to show that. I'm going to actually show that on the screen.
Yeah.
When we start this thing officially.
Yeah,
I'm going to show that website so people can.
Let's just leave it up there for now, because I mean it's great as people jump on. And Kennedy, if you don't mind, can you spell out the actual group, or pop a link in the chat, and we can also put that up on the screen.
Yeah, I can. I'll put it in the. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, Kennedy's a friend too, so I'm sure he'll help us out here. But Rachel, you're gonna love the new group. It's like the old days. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm having a good time in there most days.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson, are you there? I see you.
No, Mikey. Also, the Telegram one. That's the one that Rachel's asking.
Well,
about.
It's on the website. I'll show you in a second.
It's on there. Okay,
see, I got it on there. I got the buttons on there and everything.
I got you.
So we're good.
Hey, what's up, Bill?
Jason Anderson, you want to check your mic for us real quick? He might still be just jumping on me.
Yeah, I don't see him on my side of the studio. I guess just on your end.
I see him.
Yeah, okay.
Let me pop him in here.
You hear me?
There we go. Yeah, maybe I just had to add. You know what? I probably just had to add you to the thing, and I didn't do it yet.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jay. You're all good, man.
You just going Lemonhead on us today, or are you going?
You know, I'm actually gonna try camera today. I don't know if it's gonna pop in and work or not. See,
okay.
I've been having a problem with this nice, beautiful little camera thing, but I don't know what the heck's going on.
Is it just like a bad Wi-Fi? Is it sucking your Wi-Fi juice?
It may be, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Uncle Joe?
So you can
What's
go
up,
just
Dots?
audio. That's fine. Put some comments
no
up
kidding,
there.
right, Bill?
Hey, everybody, tell us who you are, where you're calling from. Put it in the chats. Like that button.
Yeah. Hey, Bill's got a good one in there, Mikey.
Who does? Bill Broad?
Bill Broad. Yeah.
Lem Peeps. I like that.
Hey, Steve. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
On. I can't see what these guys are saying. Hi, Diane Doll.
Hey, Diane. What's going on?
Afternoon Peeps dialed here from Boston. Excellent.
Mike Connolly, what's going on, buddy? What's going on, friends? Good to see you guys. Ready to go live, Mikey?
Yeah. Are you ready to go right now?
Yep.
You just have no time. You have no time for a countdown, do you? I have no problem with that. Let me get
gives you a minute to have a few more shots back there. All good.
That's all right. Let me get a couple quick housekeeping things in real quick. All right. Hey, real quick, just so everybody knows, I put a website together. Let me go. I want to go solo on that. I put a website together that you guys can go to if you need all these calls and stuff like that. That they're recorded. If you go to mynodetraining.com, and if you need to send anybody to jump on any of the telegrams, this is the main one right here. That's just a screenshot, but if they click on that, it'll take them to join the group. It works great on mobile. And then over here is if you're dropping those. Then on this website, if you scroll all the way down, like some of these videos are obviously going to be swapped out once the new videos come out of the new stuff we're doing. But all the other stuff, like this was the one that Jason and Terry did last night. I have it put on here. And then right underneath of this, if you want, this is the roadmap that they covered on there. So if you need this, you can go there and download it with the Vision, the DAP, light paper, minting, partners, decks. It's all on there. So all you have to do is just go on there and click that, and you'll be able to download it. as well as watch any of the other previous replays and so on. So let me pop that out of here, remove it, and we're good. And let's go 3 triple decker. All right. So Terry, good job last night along with Mr. Anderson. I think Jason is going to go Lemonhead only on us today because of the Wi-Fi, make it easy on him and stuff like that. So take it away, Terry.
Yeah, well, great to see you, Mike. We're turning you into a regular crypto guy, so that's pretty cool, man. You're going full blown these days. I like it.
Getting there.
Going Lemonhead. Jason, once again, man, you guys know him, you love him. We're excited to have him here. Thank you once again so much for taking the time out to join us. Let's start with the first question. We're getting a lot of feedback from yesterday's call, and a lot of people wanted clarification on around the 40-ish minute mark. You talked about how you're going to be holding back some of the NFTs and tokens for marketing and partners and things of the like. People wanted to know whether they were still going to have the ability to at least get one NFT a day. So if you could just clarify that for people, I think it's a good starting point for us.
Yeah, I didn't mean to confuse anybody. Absolutely. These things are going to be readily available. We do have commitments out, but we've made sure that we have enough for everybody here for the roadmap to move over. So don't be freaked out. And actually, I do believe that the path we're heading on will give everybody it's going to be time consuming. I will warn you about that because we want to make sure people don't come over and hit one button and get 300 of one, and then someone gets left out. So we are going to limit it. That is a internal debate of what that looks like. But understand it's going to be a little bit like minting in November. I guess this is probably the best way to describe it. You're going to have to kind of go through there and do your tasks, and everybody will probably jump on at the 24-hour mark, and it's countdown time, and you'll hit mint, and that kind of through. We don't, just like in November, we don't want anybody kind of taking the inventory out all at once. We want this to go around, and we want this to be something that everybody is coming along that would like to. And I want to preference a couple things that I got from text messages also throughout today. If anybody has been confused about the differences between swapping over a OG NFT or just paying the mint fee, you do not have to swap in order to participate. You do not have to lose an asset to get an asset. You just have that as an option. So this is not something that's forced. We are not trying to have everybody diversify into one project versus have two. It's a way for people to participate without a capital infusion if that is something that you do not have the ability to do right now. So I want to express that because I got several questions. This is only going to be open for people that want to do this, and I want to see the other platform survive. And I said, I do too. I understand this is not a forced thing. And so clarity there. I thought I was clear on that, but just throw it out there because I did get that twice today. So let's throw that back out. So
good stuff. I'm going to dredge up a little bit of the past here, but I think it also leads to the future. For a while, we're having a lot of conversations about the treasury loans and the like, and I'm sure some people are curious about what kind of liquidity we're going to be kind of kicking off with. So I guess those two dovetail together. Are you open to sharing some of that, what that picture is going to look like?
Yeah, I dropped it a little bit earlier in the chat. And again, I'm going to leave some of the numbers back a little bit because, the good news is I come from finance. And the good news is my new partner is also in that space. And so understand that when you undergo a new company and you undergo a new mission, a lot of times it's a napkin. It's starting out from scratch. You have to get the grassroots. Look at this as an opportunity to take everything we've learned over the last 2.5 years. And if I could go back and change anything, what would I have done? I was very, very cautious to not take on any debt with debt. The only debt that was good debt was debt. And so, this is one that we have the ability to throw a bunch of assets because we are bringing on some strategic partners into the mix that I did not have that ability with debt when we first launched. The valuation of this venture is massive day one. The liquidity is massive day one. And I think that's where this is going to be a big difference. And both our visions, meaning the group, is to make sure that this is something the world has never seen. There are going to be a lot of fun things, the microloans for the L2 projects. Well, where does that microloan come from? Third-party financing and company fundraising via actually getting into the market and doing around with not only institution but sovereign money. And so this allows a lot more liquidity. It allows a lot more strategic advantage to the world marketplace. It also is going to make news announcements because of what we are doing and the size of what we're doing. Very easy to come by because it's going to be reported on because no one in crypto is doing it. So yeah, I hope that kind of gives you some good parameters. As far as the treasury goes and what we're going to do with the treasury and leverage it down the road, guys, that's the same. It's the same model. It's not changing. It's I believe this may be a quicker path to it than starting out with nothing, having to build it. This is something that will start with a lot to begin with. Hopefully that means that leveraging that treasury will come in an expedited pace.
I think Mike's holding on to his heart right now, Jason. I'm a little concerned about him. We might have to call Stacy to come check on him. But you use the word sovereign in there. Does that look or smell or feel like something along the lines of sovereign wealth funds? Or
yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Terry, come on.
Hey, just asking for a friend, Mike.
Okay.
Mike,
Yeah.
I can only hold secrets for so long. I'm glad he's talking about this. Is great. This is fantastic. Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Uncle Joe approves, Mike. Mike, do you want to hit him with a question? You look like you're chomping at the bit there.
No, I'm actually just I'm listening because I'm putting some questions in my head because I'm just trying to remember what you covered yesterday that I listened to in the car because I couldn't make it on. I don't even know what time you guys did it. I was probably already in bed. I just think I'm kind of most excited about hearing you, Jason, talk about how you're making this friendly for those of us who are not crypto savvy, who don't understand what a DEX is, a SEX is, a blockchain, a token, a halving, and on and on and on and on. I mean, it's literally like for people to learn a new language. So to me, that's the most exciting. And just if you need me to pull anything up on the screen or anything, Jason, just let me know. I can do that for you as well with the roadmap if there's anything you missed. But I mean, I'm just jacked about it. But go ahead, Terry. Keep asking questions, and if I think of one, I'll ask you directly.
One thing I did do a temporary roadmap. I just had one of our starting out designers do one just so I could live up to the commitment. The graphics team and the marketing companies come back. We did have a large staff now in our marketing team. They have finished that roadmap. They've been very, very busy with the 27 projects they have left to do. They have some left. They have some they've already finished. They just have a long map to get there. So if Mike, you can update the roadmap to the new one. Do you have it? If not,
is this it?
Nope. That's the one that was put together to make sure that I physically got out there. I will make sure that you get it here. Terry, will you check on Telegram real quick and get it to Mike? But I posted up earlier today. Look, they didn't change. It's just a different graphic. I want to make sure we stay brand specific. So I think maybe what we do is we've had a lot of time to digest. It's now been 2 weeks of calls. It's been a lot of time and effort from both Mike and Terry. We're getting a lot of good calls set up here in the base. We're continuing to pound down projects. I'm getting a lot of excitement. I'm getting a lot of fun. We have more technical questions that are starting to come forward now. And I feel better now that we have the roadmap out to kind of get into some of those. And I think it's important because next week I announced last night the DApp will be up. And you'll be able to see the website. You're going to start seeing the light papers pop in. We're going to have more and more questions next week, probably all things light paper, if I'm being honest. So before we get into that large swirl, why don't we do a catch up? And I'm actually okay doing a live AMA. and let's take the questions in that run through and kind of just hit them one at a time to make sure people have caught up on everything we've digested in the last 2 weeks. And then I also want to introduce, I announced a little bit last night, but you can go to debt.store. And we do have some new lemon gear that has now hit the store. We still have debt gear in there as well. So just kind of a heads up, if you would like to pick up a new hat or a new shirt or anything like that, feel free. My wife works really hard on some of that stuff with some of her creativity. So feel free to go check it out. It is not a mandatory thing, but if you do like that type of stuff and wearing it, feel free to go pick up a new shirt or a new hat.
Yeah, very cool. I was excited when Emily sent that to me yesterday. So that was very cool and awesome to hear that Jamie's been doing all the creative stuff. So that's very cool.
I'm gonna pull it up for you guys so you can see what it looks like right now. How's that?
There you go.
I like it. Tag on that lemon button there, Mike. No, by brand, just down a little bit. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Let me see. Shop all things lemon.
There you go.
Nice. I'll blow that up a little for you guys.
And obviously, we're going to have a bunch of new influencers popping around. So having them in lemon gear will be something that'll be fun.
So I'm going to be able to replace the shirt I got on now with this one?
No. I didn't say replace. What I said was you get to add to your collection.
Oh, not replace it. I need another one.
Different days of the week, Mike. Just
I can't. Different days of the week, and I'll be definitely jumping on that. Do you want me to pull that new roadmap up, Jason?
Yeah, if you could.
I can convert it real quick if you need it.
Kind of through,
give me 60 seconds, but go ahead and talk.
I know Terry was in the chats as well. I'm going to pull up a couple that came up today. A lot of confusion when I got into the lemon NFTs. As far as do I have to wait a year and what that correlates. Understand that if you've been with the debt projects, and we've actually powered more projects than just DebtBox. And so I'll throw that out there. The technology that sits underneath is something that is operating a few systems in that worldwide. This is just the first project that I basically come forward with and said, great, I'm going to go ahead and have my own tech power to make sure my vision stays pure and clean to what I would like. And so this is a way for us to showcase that. Every tokenomic is a little different. The half-lives have always been accelerated for the first year. It's been laid out in the light papers very clearly. Grow had maybe 15 days, I believe, until the first halving. Debt was about 10 days before the first halving. You had some farther ones out that may have been 30 days or 45 days, but they don't go a year. The first year, what I really mean is it's about 10 days. Will have to basically be put into place for the partners. Everybody will be able to come in after that. You will be participating in the year 2, but it's really about 10 days afterwards. And everybody's going to say, whoa, I want to participate in the first bit. This is how we're going to be able to accomplish the token needed for all the exchanges coming up. We need to get it flushed out. We need to get it situated in because we're not an ICO. And so this is something that we are doing publicly. We're being very transparent about it. And this will allow us to hit the market in a mass run because mining this stuff out for a year, it would cause problems in the supply. And so this allows us to live up to our commitments for our community, along with the more corporate issues of exchanges, payment platforms. The bank itself needs to have it for all the interchange. We're going to get into having enough when we go to the L1 to be able to have individuals stake directly on the layer 1 like Ethereum. So understand you need to have this token sitting around. Now, I'm also going to tell you, when you have a goal of hitting up to 1,000 projects on your layer 2, we may not get anywhere close to that. Let's just say we hit the 50, or so that I have a goal of. Every one of those projects has to have hundreds of thousands, if not millions and millions of LEM in order to make that work. And so you have to have the circulation. This is how we're going to accomplish it. So that means everybody will be able to participate in July in a couple weeks. in physically acquiring an NFT, staking it, and earning. And so I don't want to have anybody think that what I said last night means they don't get to participate until 2025. So let's just clean that up right now. It came up a couple times. It's clear it will be in July, and it will be something that will be rapid, and it will be something that everybody can participate very quickly with. So,
Jason, do you want me to leave this up at all, or do you need me to just take it down so you can talk?
I want to leave it up because we're going to do a bunch of questions from the community. Terry, I know you answered quite a few today as well. Will you hit me with whatever you heard so that it gets out for a wider base?
Yeah, no problems. One of the things that I think we should tackle, because it's been asked, it was asked yesterday and we didn't get around to it. It's been asked again today. Do we have some kind of rug pull prevention mechanisms in place that we were discussing last year?
Yeah, so actually the tokenomics we're using right now for the L2s has a built-in lever. So every time you go to withdraw directly off the chain, that first 10% actually goes to add liquidity. That means the longer the project goes, the more and more liquidity actually gets added to DEXs. So this is one of those beautiful things that the more active the community is, the more liquidity will be added for the community to have a safety net. And so I do anticipate every project will obviously be different based off of the activity, but I think you're going to see a lot wider L2 projects, and hopefully we get back up to several $1 million in liquidity for these things very quickly.
Very nice. Friends, if you have questions that are burning at you, drop them in the chat. We'll try and take them on here. We'll be strategic about it, but we'll try and get a grab on them. So, yeah, slogans on the t-shirts. Yeah, Doug, I think we'll come up with that stuff over time. A QR code on the shirts that that links them back to a Telegram group or a website. That is actually a good idea, Doug. That would be.
Yeah, I got that one earlier today as well. I actually hit Emily and Jamie up on that. Not a problem at all. QR codes. The printer said that they have to be large enough for them to pick up, but pretty easy to do. We can actually get that started, so it can go to the Telegram chat or the website, or like a link tree type or a lemon tree type. Maybe we just put them directly into a multiple tag from the main site to basically get them through all of the different platforms.
Yeah, some people are looking for a roadmap of what we're going to do. But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think right now for people, I mean, people are really jumping the gun. I'm getting a lot of questions about this, but I just tell them, hey, we're going to be on the BSC chain for now. So just have some dry powder in a self-custody wallet so you're not held up by exchanges. There isn't much else anyone can do at this point. Did you want to add to that, or am I crazy?
No, I think that's exactly right. And I think you need to, spend the next couple of days and maybe next week, going through the new projects. A lot of them will be up. I think taking the time to go through the white paper, seeing what is here. Some of them will be able to just Google. You can actually do some research on some of these L2 projects. And so, find what's going to hit you, and then you find out what's the best decision for you and your family. And again, this is free. And so, we're starting this way, and I think it's something that I can get a little bit more in detail. In fact, I just got a DM. How are you making this free? I will go through that a little bit next. But this is something that is not a huge capital crunch for you and your family. This is not something I'm asking the community for. I've always said that we're trying to basically build a platform to give it away in the future. We're just starting this way. And so I'm basically putting my money where my mouth is. I physically have said I'm going to do it. We're just going to start it this way so that it's free from the beginning. And, how you monetize. Guys, I am very much into privacy. If you have spent some time with me and actually talked to me about blockchain and Web3 and what I believe it does for the average individual, there are some privacy things that I will stay away from due to the risk of being targeted by the large powers to be. And I'm not talking about little agencies. I'm talking about governments. And so we have some strategic things that we are doing. Number one is the end-to-end encryption in the app. You guys will be able to get through that. The ability to have your privacy all protected, have your anonymity when you're doing your communications. It's very important to me. it also goes the same way on blockchain. We have a couple methods and methodology we'll be using in the staking process in order to give you a little bit more privacy at that running through. There is no way to keep anonymity once you go to a centralized exchange. And so I think at the time you're cashing out, you need to just understand that you no longer have any of that. One forensic auditor can go back from that one account and pretty much find everything you've ever done in that wallet. The technology I have seen, I'm telling you that if you think you're hiding stuff, you're not. Blockchain is not the place to hide something. And the technology with AI anymore, it is absolutely insane of the amount of information you can find on people. But I will say that it does allow for seamless integration for payments. It allows for seamless integration from not having an account number and a routing number at the bottom of a check, which some people don't even use those anymore. I'm still old school. I still do. The touch of a phone with the new lemflux will be the groundbreaking technology I believe that everybody will be asking for and excited about, to be able to physically go to a 7-Eleven or a grocery store and physically just tap your phone and get right into a payment method at your register from your crypto. And so this is something that I think is gonna be a lot of fun and that in the rollout. But yeah.
Some people want to know what the LEM token will list at. Is that something we can discuss or not?
So somewhere between $10 and $100.
Oh, that's the listing. Wow. Okay. All right. Very different than I was expecting. Very cool.
Yeah, it is. And that is actually a large debate currently right now with the powers to be. So you have large capital partners coming in. There's gonna be a lot of liquidity day one. And so I had my bet saying it should go out for $1, and that will not be what happens. But I don't think it'll be 100 either. And so I'm going to guess it's going to come in right around the $10 mark. We were hoping that debt would hold, so it would be more of an interchange of about 1-to-1. That has not happened this week, and so you will have no way to couple it. But I do believe, in this process, we're trying to make sure that it stays as low as possible to have everybody be able to participate.
You sure you don't want to list it at a penny? Just ask a friend.
Debt didn't even list at a penny. Debt listed, at a penny early, but it went to about $1 in about 12 seconds. Went to $15, I believe, in the first day. So, and then it never really got back to these low levels right now, guys. I mean, I never thought we'd see. SEC got us here the first time, and I think we still have some hurdles and bumps, but I never thought we'd see $3 to $5 debt in my life again. And I thought time. So I think it's a good value. I think it's something that, if you are a supporter of the OG projects, there's a lot going on that side of the fence as well. I think these are good values to hold off and kind of see where the bottom kind of lays out here. But it is not a bad time to pick up if you're excited about the old projects and OG stuff and what they are doing in the future. So.
I'm seeing the same questions coming up multiple times. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on the sovereign wealth loans type concept that lots of people keep asking? So I just thought I'd put it out there.
Yeah. So with the L2s, actually starting with we'll call it I think we had probably 5. I think we had 2 UTM projects. We had 3 oil projects out, micro projects out in Oklahoma. They had loans attached to them. Very good rates, a decent period of time to pay it back, 5 to 10 years. At rates anywhere between a couple percentage points, and interest only to basically get those projects funded. Get them a little bit of seed money to make sure that they can get off the ground, turn royalties. It's a way for us to get a lot more businesses on board to actually do a project by giving them some capital relief. And that model is moving forward. Our goal is to have 100 billion, and I think we're going to surpass that. It may be closer to $500 million that we will have for these loans to go out over the next 12 months for the L2 projects. It's going to be a pilot program, but I will tell you that I think it's going to be so overwhelmingly successful that it's going to be a flood to both sides. It's a good way for both sides to win.
Very cool. On the subject of loans, we had talked a lot about last year, ideally having the ability for us individuals to get loans against our asset holdings. Has there been anything you can share on that front?
Yeah, it's called Lembank.
Yeah, I knew that. Just wanted you to say, which is awesome.
It's going to be some time in order to get the framework set up and the time frame, but we're starting with the bank up front for a reason, because what we're trying to do is make sure everybody can get their acquisitions situated, get their tokens situated, grow their portfolios, and then have a way to either A, take a loan out, or B, to stake it directly. Some restrictions will apply for certain jurisdictions that do not have the ability to stake in a bank yet. Again, this is a licensed bank, so they have certain jurisdictional issues in that for different individuals. But the whole reason why we're starting with the bank itself is a foundation, is so that we can get to that point a lot quicker.
Very cool. I know this question came up yesterday. It's come up before, but since it continues to come up, is there any creative ways maybe we could come up to do something for VBOX holders? I know that we can't just physically move them over, but I know people are asking, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, this is something we went back and forth on. It's something we really tried to come up with a good solution. There just isn't one. I'll tell you the problematic. So you have a VBOX, they're already staked, they're physically sitting there, they already have debt in them, they're already in a smart contract. The second we allow some to move those VBOXes over, the problem is you're leaving people behind on the other stuff. We'd have to unstake debt. That's really counterintuitive. That actually would be an implosion, I believe, in the current projects. We're trying to support both. So it's just not a good, I would not like this idea for either party, quite honestly, because everybody is in both projects so heavy that that's like putting a ticking time bomb on one that we're just going to blow our own hands off. So as much as I would love to say there is a solution there, there's just not one that we've come up with yet. I think the value add over here is good enough without giving everybody a value add for everything on the first platform. So you're going to have some gives and takes on this, guys, but just come over and join us with a free NFT and understand that your debt staked is in for the long run. They will correct this issue, I think, relatively quickly, and I think all of us have a good path on both sides.
Very cool. I know it's been asked before, but it's coming up once again. Is LemPay or LemBank going to be an L2 project that we can all benefit from?
Yeah, so LemBank will not. LemBank has all kinds of restrictions against it because, again, it's a licensed bank, and so it's not going to be like a shareholder type situation in that on the bank itself. LemPay, on the other hand, is a third party processor basically that deals with technology and services. That actually is a project that will go out on the L2. There's also other technologies around the bank that there will be projects that will be launched for that. It's just other technologies for terminals, for instance, in that not just the peer-to-peer like Cash App alternatives, but how businesses can actually take credit cards and that running in. Those types of things have really good margins in them, really good royalty models and we have some partners. In fact, I've got a couple individuals flying in town to hopefully revive, I believe, what would have been a really cool project. It was Swipe, if anybody remembers that, last July.
Yeah.
We have a company with some major names that we would love to announce. If anybody likes the major sports in the United States, major sports in Latin America, major sports around the world, they have a lot of those terminals already at the major stadiums around the world. And so we get to announce partnerships with all kinds of big brands. And so they'll be flying in, I believe, the the middle of July. I don't remember the exact date. It's the middle of July, and I think that'll go very well for a pickup. And I think that'll be a pretty quick L2. That has been in negotiations almost for a year now, and so I think bringing that along will be quick. I think it'll be seamless, and I think it'll be a fun one for everybody to jump on board with.
I mean, the amount of royalties that lemflux is going to generate over time is just astounding. I'm so excited about that. I think that's going to be amazing.
I have a question on that, Terry.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Is the lemflux going to be something similar, like I could use, because I do a lot of affiliate marketing stuff, so I can actually use lemflux instead of Stripe or PayPal? Is that what that is kind of a design to do?
So no, we have a terminal mechanism. This will be more like Stripe. So
okay.
Swipe. So a swipe is basically swiping the credit card or a terminal to allow businesses to physically take fiat money in just standardly on a credit card, but also allow you to take crypto as a business. LemPay is equivalent to a peer-to-peer payment solution. It also has a bill pay function in it, so you can load your crypto up and send things off to like your mortgage company, your credit card bill. You can actually pay your friends. Just have it's on the banking rails, so
wow.
it uses back office. So you can basically just send a checking account to a checking account via crypto. So that's more what you're going to find with LemPay. Okay. With Swipe, it's going to be more of an option for businesses and affiliates that are pushing different things, mentoring programs or their own products, small businesses, and hopefully large businesses.
Very cool. Has the final supply been decided upon for the utility token? I know I've heard some different numbers and had some discussions with Jake about it, but someone was asking that, and I think it's a great question.
Yeah, it's been decided.
And
it's the same as debt. It's 50 million.
Fantastic. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so then the next question is, how fast can we lock it up? Right. I love it.
Yeah. So those 50 million, it's the closest to basically get to, it was a debate to basically go to 100 million. We believe 50 million is more than enough. We are going out with zeros. So it will be out in fractionals to seeds like Satoshis. And so we do believe this is going to be a project that has the ability to have mass adoption. And I'm going to go ahead and throw those types of things out there. So if you do have mass adoption, you do have all these projects coming forth, we're going to have to do fractionals. So instead of getting a full lemon, you're going to get seeds to that lemon. And this will go fairly close in line with the supply of Bitcoin. And so you can kind of see the head-to-head matchup. The difference here is we also have the other half that will be leveraged to just continue pressing the price, the usability, the function, and the utility with leverage. And so I think it's a good mix.
Did you guys hear about that? Were you guys listening? Because I don't see any excitement in the chat. We're going head-to-head with BTC, guys. I mean, how much more exciting does it need to be? That's fantastic. I love when you talk like that, buddy. I love it, man. Love it. Love it. I miss those conversations. But I see the vision. I think a lot of people think that sounds crazy, but they don't understand what happens when big walls of capital hit on a non-existent supply. All right. It just becomes math. And I think people need to really understand that. And it's fantastic.
Okay. So I just got a question. When are you going to be listed? Okay. So I've made a commitment for all L2 projects. This is actually something that goes back years in my crypto life. Understand that projects must get listed fairly quickly. We have a philosophy that's 90 days or less. We will always surprise the base of when it goes up to try and minimize the bots that will be active on it to allow the base itself to participate in them. So we don't typically give listing dates. We basically will push a notification through the app that it is done already. It will not stop the bots, and no one can beat the bots. But if we can limit the bots, then it's the best value for everybody running through. And if the only way to beat bots is to have a bot yourself, understand AI right now is tearing crypto apart, and bots are getting more and more readily available, and they are definitely, it's exciting, but it does hurt the ability to get these lower prices in crypto. For Lem, okay, so we have this one's going to be, guys, it'll be in July. We need this thing out. So understand, we're not waiting 90 days for Lem. This thing will be listed very, very quickly. When can we swim? Okay, so the second we get it listed, it will be inside the new Lemon Tree wallet, and it'll be automatically paired. If you do not have the Lemon Tree wallet, you'll be able to use any wallet that's connected to Pancake Swap and just swap directly to it. It'll just basically mean you have to go into it through BNB or USDT on the Binance Smart Chain network, just like you do right now. But it will be a one push button directly in the Lemon Tree app if you have that downloaded, and your pairings in that will be pre-indicated, so you can do a couple jumps inside of one with just one button.
I love it. And did you say tomorrow we could download the Lemon Tree app? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, that's what I said. No, next week we are going to submit it to the app stores, and we do have a raw version of it. I thought I answered it the other night. I'll be honest, it was really, really late, but you can do a hard download if you're on Android. And so if you don't want to go use the Play Store, you can just pull it down. I got a question on that, and I thought I answered that, but it was late. Maybe I skipped over it. Terry, do you have a couple more? I'm going to go through here. I've got probably 3 more teed up here.
No, go for it. Go for it. You got a few things you want to cover? Tackle it.
It's not what I want to cover. I'm going through the chat and making sure I'm catching up on all beautiful things that are coming over from the day of private messages. Do I want to get into why we are taking OG projects in? I think I've covered that. So, bottom line, we're trying to give a soft landing for everybody. If you don't have a lot of capital, we're not trying to take anything from the other side. If you actually understand what we're doing, we're actually burning those NFTs. And so what'll happen is that will actually increase the inventory that will be available for DebtBox to then have them be able to remint out. The smart contract will allow that inventory to come back into place at a later time. So if they decide to, whatever their model is or decides to be in the future, they will have that inventory to use. In the short term, it unstakes a NFT, and that means that there's more token going to the NFTs that are still staked. So it's again, I want to make sure that everybody understands what we are doing is not just words that work together, it's actions. We are definitely trying to be all things lemon over here, and it's all about making sure both platforms not only survive but are very, very successful. And I think this is a good way to show that in a physical format of what we are doing.
Yeah, I think it's incredible what you're doing. It's fantastic.
How are the projects going to relate to OG? Okay, so the projects relating to OG, there are going to be some that will be synergistic. And so when you have L2s that are going to come out with this type of mass, you're not going to be able to have category sections that everything is going to tether to an OG project. I'm concentrating on supply chain for the most part. So everything basically that is already produced or has a functionality in a market for a business type approach. We're not doing anything commodities over here. I'm not saying that someone in the L2 sector won't launch a project in the commodity sector. I'm just saying if they do, it won't be tethered to anything that will be an OG. We are trying to have everything over here be free and flow and go. It would not be something that the management team is operating. It'll just be somebody that's taking advantage of the L1 because it is superior, or maybe they get a micro loan for it, or whatever it may be, why they chose the L1. That does not mean it'll be tethered back, even if it's in the same commodity sector. And it's not what we'll be targeting over here. But I'm not saying it won't happen. With a lot of the other projects, we do have LEM projects that do overlap some of the OGs that we've talked about coming over. lemflux is one of them. I believe that will be a very synergistic one to add royalties to both sides very, very quickly. And in that, how are royalties going to be transparent and get away from what is happening in the past? And that's not exactly what it said, so I'm going to go ahead and just tailor it that way to go. So every single project, when it is launched, it's going to have its own liquidity wallet that is automated and already pre-programmed into a smart contract. This is that initial liquidity I was talking about, where you basically have every single withdrawal will basically be adding directly to that liquidity pool. The royalties will be going directly into that. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a liquidity wallet that when it's funded with LEM in the early days, as LEM goes up, this is going to create a larger and larger and larger wallet if we're successful in making LEM go up. So there's the caveat there. We believe that the funding mechanism will be for about a 2-year runway for liquidity. Day one, we believe with the rise of LEM going into these L2 projects, if you are part of the first section and you're getting a X multiplier on that, and I'll leave the X off, this will then stretch your liquidity to 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, to make sure that you never have a problem with not having buys happen every single day consistently, to give that stability in the project. This is what makes the debt technology different than anything else. This actually is the secret sauce, and so when used correctly, it allows for stability in the marketplace. But you need to have the royalties, you need to have the widening of the liquidity pools. So now we've added a automatic widener, and we've added the royalties going directly in, so they're more transparent. Everybody can look those up. They'll be in the light papers. You'll be able to see them daily. You'll be able to see those transactions daily. They're separated out. We do have one difference. We're actually going somewhere a little bit better. We're heading in for all of the burns. We'll be in a single burn wallet. And then that will automatically function. It's actually not a wallet. It's a smart contract that's controlled by a wallet, so that you don't actually have to worry about if it's happening or not. So every time a purchase is happening, it automatically sends immediately to a smart contract that then will hold it for a period of burn. It will allow easy, transparent tracking live on the blockchain for every project. The nice thing about that is it's also easier to put in the dApp and put into the app. So we will have live tracking of how many tokens have been burned from every single project. We will have the ability to say, here's what it started with, here's the percentage that's left, live for everybody to have visuals on as well.
I presume that'll be like a functionality feature in LemTree.
Yes. Because you have a lot of people that got really creative and actually pulled this stuff off the blockchain already. But it's kind of impressive. You have a couple projects like natural gas. It's actually burned over 90% of the total circulation supply already. Most people get a little shocked with that, but it's kind of fun to see that that's where you're going to start getting the benefits when royalties pick in. It's going to be fun. And so if you can kind of watch that, it also makes you a more sophisticated, strategic partner for us by operating these free nodes. And you can kind of jump around and figure out, oh, look, this project here is almost done. Let's go ahead and grab one of these nodes and get tokens while I can. A lot of supply has already been shrunk. Or if you're a buyer of token on a third-party exchange, then you kind of will have a much better idea of what the circulating supply has been already, where it's going. And if the royalties are increasing, it's going to show you very quickly that's probably a project to support.
All right, Aldo, Enki, if you guys are listening, we're going to get you guys busy whipping up those spreadsheets again, as usual.
Oh, you won't have to anymore. They're going to be all in the text. Yeah.
I love it, though. No, it's great. I see here. There's another question just jumped in here. They want to know if you're going to be using RFID chips. I don't think we need to in this case because they're just, the nature of the projects are just very different. Am I misunderstanding that?
There will be some projects that will have the supply mechanism to them, but a lot of these projects are not. The RFID technology is definitely something that will be used on the other side for functionality, because it is a production type plan for them to go to market with all the commodities. Here, a lot of those assets already exist. They're out there. There will be some products and projects that actually will be tailored, so that technology will be here, but it's not going to be center focused on the LEM chain because of where we're heading.
Yeah, Bill, yes, everything that you liked about last year in terms of the token pairings and the L2s all getting kind of benefits off the utility token. Yes, we are still absolutely doing all those things. So Well, we're coming up on 50 minutes. It's already late over there. I think you've dropped a ton of great stuff. How about this? Let's close it out with maybe you want to talk about one of the other, give us a little hint about one of the new projects that's listing right off the get-go that we haven't discussed. How about that?
So we have a partner, and obviously you understand that I'm not going to release the name tonight, but we do need to have an affiliate opportunity in between. So Lem1 store is actually going to be going live as well. It'll be the transacting store in front of the big name I'll be mentioning hopefully next week, which will allow everybody to start monetizing, or actually it's us monetizing you in a different way through the apps and through functionality. And this gets back into a video we did a little while ago. Everybody wants to know why these things are free. Instagram monetizes you. TikTok monetizes you. Every social media platform out there, I can continue. X monetizes you. We're just doing it in a way that is fun and exciting, and simple. So LemPay will obviously be integrated into the app. I believe that app somewhat has gone out there and maybe dripped a little bit, but that name is not going to go functionally until my partner can actually be next to me, because he's the one that purchased it. That technology is $100 million in tech that is being put onto the balance sheet and being brought here for this. Understand that this that kind of gives you an idea of the scope of the assets that will be here day one. It was purchased for $100 million through his capital fund, and this is something that is being donated because he sees the vision and running. And so in that app, you'll be able to monetize. My wife is an addict. She goes through all these reels, and all of a sudden she'll stop and do one of these little checkout things on Instagram. This works and functions differently than that. We're using influencers in that with tag links directly with them to then get them one-click checkouts. And so it will basically be a way to monetize individuals around the world in a very quick, easy way. It also means a ton of transaction fees, if you can imagine, through LemPay. And so when LemPay is going to be introduced in this type of model, understand you're going to basically get a two for. You're going to get one project, obviously, for the app. You're going to get one project for the Lem1 store, and then you get one project, obviously, for LemPay. And all of those do have a nice little spider web that attach, because every one of those transactions will be little royalties for each one of those. And so it's going to be fun and kind of running through.
Yeah, and are they keeping with this? I mean, never mind. I know they're going to stick with the same branding, so that's awesome. Excited to see it. Very cool. All right, friends, we're coming up almost on an hour here. I know Jason's got to get some sleep once in a while. Jason, are we taking Sunday off and jumping back on Monday? Is that the plan?
Yes, the plan right now is Monday, and I'm working on some things, so we may do a double up. I'm still trying to get a one-on-one with Shab, but I don't think that's going to interrupt anything we're going to do with Lemon. So just understand, let's go ahead and plan Monday. Let's set Monday, because it's DAP week, and I want to make sure that we can start getting websites out. We can start getting people to know where you're heading, along with social media tags. Guys, that's next week, and we're starting to have some fun. So I think that's going to be a long week of Q&As and a long week of directing people and having people understand. There will not be minting yet, but you will be able to start digging through light papers. So I expect next week will be DAP questions, will be app questions, and will be light paper questions. So let's get ready for a big week. And I plan on being on probably at least 3 days next week, and I'll have someone else come back on and fill in the gaps.
Sounds great. I'm also free on Sunday if you need it, if something does come up. So I'll be there ready to roll when you are. So everyone, thank you very much for joining on once again. This is going to be a really exciting week. It's go time. We're finally here. So I'm done with that. Jason, thank you very much. Mike, you have any closing
Thanks,
comments?
Jason.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
All right, I am going to close it out, okay?
Yeah, all good, Mikey.
Man, oh man, we have got some talking to do.
Yeah, we also got another call we got to do, right? So let's just powwow on that when we close.
See you, peeps.